In this lecture, we will learn how to prepare the income and expenditure account and the statement of financial position of a club. So this is the format. As I said, I recommend you to print it first, or copy it in a note copy. Then you go along with the video and fill it up so that you learn it perfectly. Okay. So before I begin, how to fill this up, you will have to go through the questions. This is a question given up there, right? I told you to print this first. And there are some notes which we need to understand regarding clubs and societies. Some points here which I'm just going to explain before I start the question. So the main source of income of club is subscription. Remember, subscription is the main source of income. It's like us opening up a swimming club or a gym club, whatever it is, and then whatever amount we charge to the members is called subscription, and that's the main source of income for the club. So here also in this question, you will see that subscription is the main source of income, which is in the income section. Now, the second point here is that the club can also conduct different activities other than its normal activity. So it can conduct other activities like buy and sell LCs, conduct a dance program, conduct so etc. to raise additional fund. If it does so, profit must be computed separately for each individual activity. Here, what I'm trying to focus here is that suppose we have a swimming club or a boating club or a gardening club, whatever it is. If we conduct activities other than the core activity of the club, like for example, the core activity of a swimming club would be like training for swimming or teaching them, whatever it is. But besides that, if you are conducting some activity like like a football competition or a basketball competition, whatever it is, you need to compute separately profit or loss made by such activity and show it either on the income heading or on the expenditure heading. Now if it's profit, you will show it on the income heading. If it's a loss, you will show it on the expenditure heading. This we'll learn as we do the questions. Number 3. Okay, while preparing ledgers, opening balance of assets is always debit side. Remember, increase in asset is debit. Opening balance of asset should always be in debit side. Thus, the reverse is a liabilities. Increase in liabilities credit. That was a rule that we studied. So all the liabilities have opening balance in credit side. Okay, there's another word. Okay, honorarium means amount paid to club official or any guest for time spent in the club. Okay, this is a word to do with in the question, which we'll see in a while. Okay, now we go to the question. So this is a question. You have receipt and payment. In the left side, you have all reasons for receipt. Left side, all reasons for payments. And then you have additional information here, which shows the opening and the closing balance. Remember that your year ends in 31 October 2014. So after October comes November. So November of previous year is your opening. This is your opening information. This side, if you were looking for opening information, you look this side, this section at 1 November 2013. And if you want to look for closing information, you need to look at 31 October 2014 closing. Okay, so we're going to start the solution now. I have a ready-made format which you actually have to make on your own in exam. Right now, just for simplicity, we can just fill up a format to understand how to solve it. So here we have the income statement and the statement of financial position. You are actually supposed to solve the income statement first, but I am going to solve the statement of financial position first because it will finish very quickly, and I'll just show you that it's very simple. Then we'll learn the income statement. And in your real exams or in your class, you can first do the income statement, then statement of financial position. Okay, I'm teaching the statement of financial position because this is the easiest of the both. So how to fill the statement of financial position? You go to the question, back to question. So this is the question. Now in the question, what we do is you just look at the additional information. This way, see, you'll be given the opening and closing balance. Focus on the closing balance, which I'm going to highlight here. Okay, these are the closing balance. Now, remember, these are assets and liabilities. So you need to figure out whether they are assets or liabilities. Let's start with equipment. Equipment is your non-current asset. So I'm going to write NCA. And when I say non-current asset, you will place this in the non-current asset of your answer. So if you're going to your answer, up here, you can see non-current asset. It has been placed out here under the heading of non-current asset. This way, I pull it from the answer here. So this one is pulled up there, this way. Okay, first let's just, identify them, then we will place it in the statement of financial position. All this closing information will go in the statement of financial position. Amount owed for seed purchase is current liabilities. It means we owe, we are the accountant, remember? So I'm putting CL. CL means current liabilities. And this will go in the current liabilities. What is your solution? Notice that it's 84. Yeah, under current liabilities, seed payables. This is where you fill it. You need to fill it simultaneously. Seed payables, this. Okay. The third one, amount owed for printing for dinner. This is also current liabilities. So you'll have to place this under the list of current liabilities. Go to your solution. Yeah, printing payables, you can see. Seed payables, amount owed for printing. This is current liabilities. You go to your equation and pull it this way. Next one, prepayment for insurance. Insurance. Spelling mistake. INSURANCE. So prepayment for insurance means prepaid insurance. That is your prepaid expense. Prepaid expense are current assets. We know that. So you need to place this in the current asset under the heading of current asset. Okay, you can go up under the heading of current asset. Okay, up here. Under the heading of current asset, you can see prepaid insurance. Make sure you put in the inner column. Here. 206. Back to question. Notice that I am simply placing the closing balance either as asset or liabilities in the statement of financial position. Okay, next one, subscription paid in advance. Then there's down subscription owing at financial year end. Now, before you understand these two, this is very important, subscription. Remember, subscription is our income, major source of income. So, subscription paid in advance doesn't mean we are paying, it means the members are paying us. So, we are the accountant, we are actually receiving it. So, don't get confused with the word paid. If we are not paying it, it's the members paying us. So subscription paid in advance means advance income received by us. And advance incomes are current liabilities, you can put CL here. Okay. Then there's next one, subscription owing at the financial year end. Now this is subscription receivable, that is income receivable, that would be your current asset. So notice that one is current liabilities, the other is current asset. The current liabilities you need to put in current liabilities. So the subscription paid in advance is advance subscription. I'm going to place in current liabilities. Here you can see advance subscription under the heading of current liabilities. You need to pull it here. 135. Okay. Then subscription receivable was your current asset. You need to go up here. You need to place in the section of current asset. This way. Okay, back to question. Now, basically what we have done is we have filled up all the closing balances as either asset or liabilities, and we have placed in the specific section of the statement of financial position. So after having done this, now if you look up your format that you have copied or printed out, what we are going to observe here is that, see, we have non-current asset only one item, so this itself is a total. Current assets, we have prepaid insurance, subscription receivables, but here the bank balance is still pending. So bank balance, this is your closing bank balance, which you have to look up at the quotient here, this one. Remember, this is your closing bank balance. This is the closing bank balance under in your receipt and payment account, while this up here is the opening bank balance. Bank balance. So we need to place the closing bank balance because all the closing information you can see from here, closing informations are placed in the statement of financial position. So we're going to pull this 1414. Yeah, under the section of 1414. So 1414 placed out here. Now, if you add this three up, you will get total current asset as 1414 plus 206 plus 225. need to add this tree 1414 plus 206 plus 225. If you add this tree, you get 1845 as total current asset. Then total asset is the sum of total non-current asset plus total current asset. So here we have completed the asset section of the statement of financial position. This section is complete, the asset section. So just for doing this, you get marks in exam. Now, under the heading of capital and liabilities, during statement of financial position, I told you that instead of capital, we use accumulated fund here. We need to place the opening balance here. Now, opening balance is not given in the question. If you look up here, there is no way saying the opening accumulated fund is not given. So for that, we need to do working. Now, to calculate the opening accumulated fund, you need to look up the opening side of the additional information. This one, this section. This section you're going to look up. Okay, I'm going to analyze this. So you're going to look at this, the opening information, and you are going to use this working note. See, working note 1. This information you're going to use. Because I'm going to copy and paste it here. Okay, now to calculate your opening accumulated fund, you need to subtract opening liabilities from opening assets. Now this has come from the accounting equation, asset equals to capital plus liabilities, which we have studied in our AS level. Asset equals to capital plus liabilities, so you're just simply adding opening. So to get opening capital, you just need to subtract L from A. That's how the equation has come about. Opening accumulated SCCU and U LATED. Opening accumulated funds, opening asset minus opening liabilities. So this is very simple. Now we have already identified asset and liabilities, so you simply add the asset. Equipment is an asset, so 840, you can see down at 840 as written there. The second asset, okay, let's follow the screen. Yeah, you can see 840 has been added. The next is 112, you can see there it has been added. The next one is 180. 180 has been added in the solution. Now you shouldn't forget 146, that is opening balance up here. So this opening balance of the bank balance is also asset. So 146, don't forget that. That's why I put star out here. Minus opening liabilities. So liabilities, you just have to look at the current liabilities here. The CL, the current liabilities. 120, you can see there. Then there's another 162. Then there's another one, 360 down here. This way. So the liabilities added up. So now if you add up total assets, you get 1278 minus total liabilities, you get 550. If you subtract it, you get 728. So after having done that working note, you go to your solution, and then here you will put the opening balance as 728, which we just update. Then in this opening balance, you need, of course, add W1 out here. This is very important work note. Here you need to add surplus. Now I'm assuming the surplus is obtained, which actually you have to get from the income statement. The surplus is this 3823. You need to pull it here. So the surplus comes by, subtracting total expenditure from total income. The total income is 6214 less total expenditure 2391. We subtract this, you get 3823. How to get this, I will teach you in a while. Just assume for a while that this is given. So this surplus is brought up out here. If it is deficit, you need to subtract it, remember. So surplus we add to the opening accumulated fund. If you add this to, you get this 4551 as 0. Net accumulated fund, you can say this one. After adding up, you can read this as net accumulated fund. Okay. Then down, we don't have non-current liabilities. If we had non-current liabilities, we would have placed it. So non-current liabilities reason is not here. Then we have current liabilities, which we have placed from the question. If you add this 3 up, you get 294. 84 plus 75. Oops, sorry. Equals to 84 plus 75 plus 135. We add this 3 up, you get 294 as the total current liabilities. After having this, now done this, you need to add the net accumulated fund plus non-current liabilities, which is not given, plus current liabilities total. We add this up, we get 4845, and this should be equal to, your total assets. I'm repeating, the total asset must be equal to total capital and liabilities, just as we used to do in our profit-oriented business. So this is how you prepare the statement of financial position. Please try to do it on your own after having made the format. Now I will do the income statement in the next video so that your videos are short.